New this morning, President Trump taking legal action against porn star Stormy Daniels over her alleged violations of a hush agreement. Now, the court filing claims $20 million in damages from Daniels, this for breaches of a non-disclosure agreement. Daniels' lawyer calling the move a bullying tactic. Trump's team has denied all allegations of a sexual relationship. Joining me now, MSNBC political analyst Jonathan Alter, columnist for the Daily Beast, and Sophia Nelson, former House GOP committee counsel and NBC BLK and Think contributor. With a good morning to you both. We'll go ladies first here. Sophia, what are Republicans supposed to make of this filing? Does it appear to confirm that the president just wants to keep Daniels from talking?
Well, I think that the Congress of the United States has an oversight responsibility, and this clearly is something they need to look in from an election standpoint. Is there a nexus there between the lawyer and the payment, and was it done through the campaign? And now you have a situation where the president has heretofore denied all of this. First, he denied he knew her, then there were pictures, then he denied that this happened. I've seen a lot of agreements in my time, Alex, as a lawyer and as a committee counsel, and a liquidated damages clause is what they're talking about here. So she got $130,000, and if she talks and breaks the agreement, then she's subject to this liquidated damages. I can't imagine anybody signing a $20 million liquidated damages clause on a $130,000 payment. So the Republicans have got to start standing up. I've been saying this every time I come on your show. Where are the Republicans? Where's Paul Ryan? Where are the oversight committees holding the president's feet to the fire on any number of these scandals and problems that we have? They're simply absent, and they're abrogating their responsibilities for oversight.
I mean, Jonathan, how unusual is it for a U.S. president, a sitting president, to take this kind of legal action against a private citizen? This is not someone in the administration, and this is over personal matters.
You know, I'm not sure, but I don't think this has ever happened in American history, because American presidents have better things to do than get involved in lawsuits with porn stars. But this is the way Donald Trump rolls. It's the way he's always rolled. In 1990, his lawyers threatened to sue me over something that I said about him that was true in a documentary. And I remember I was working at Newsweek at the time. I took the really threatening letter from Trump's attorney to the Newsweek lawyer, and she just laughed at it. She said, you know, you got a lot of company. Don't worry about it. This is the way this real estate developer plays the game. He likes to threaten to sue everybody. He's been involved in literally hundreds of lawsuits over the course of his career. This is, as Stormy Daniels, very competent attorney, said, just a bullying tactic. It doesn't really do Trump any good. It opens them up to discovery that will not be helpful to Trump, who has claimed before this to have had nothing to do with Stormy Daniels and denied the affair. All it does is just build anticipation for her 60 Minutes appearance and otherwise hurt Trump. But he can't see more than one or two steps ahead, and all he knows how to do is act like a bully, whether as president or a litigant in a case.
Can I just ask you quickly, do you remember, was that letter to you from Michael Cohen?
You know, honestly, I don't know, and I don't think it was, but it may have been from one of Trump's other attorneys, whose name sounded more familiar to me when it appeared in public a few months ago.
Well, Sophia, here's what Daniels' attorney told my colleagues on MSNBC's Morning Joe. Here it is.
Was she threatened in any way?
Yes.
Was she threatened physical harm?
Yes.
Can you tell us whether it came from the president directly, the physical threats?
I'm not going to answer that.
Will you deny that the president of the United States threatened your client?
I will not confirm or deny.
How do you interpret that, Sophia?
Well, Alice, clearly, all agreements, it's one of the fundamental principles of what we do in the United States under contract laws and due process of any kind. You never want somebody to sign any document under coercion or threat. These people, I mean, America, I don't know what to say about where we are right now, but we have a president that has allegedly threatened people. He's suing a porn star. He refuses to talk about Russians. He's firing people in the FBI via his attorney general. I don't know what it's going to take for us to realize that this is just not normal, and it needs to be dealt with. There needs to be oversight on all of this. It's wrong.
Jonathan, I'm out of time, but very quickly, I'm just going to read the transcript from Avenatti and how he responded to my colleague Mika's question about whether you would not take a case like this unless there was proof of a sexual relationship between Stormy Daniels and Donald Trump, and they tried to silence her about it. He said correct.
Yeah.
react to
I
that?
don't think you have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that they had a fling, apparently consensual. The bigger question is whether this may have violated campaign finance laws, the $130,000 payment, and that if Trump knew about that, then he could be in legal jeopardy over that as well.
All right. Good to talk with you both, as always, Sophia and Jonathan. Thank you so much.